news. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning and welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3 as Kat fixes his hair.
You gotta make sure
in the mirror.
You guys,
I just want to welcome you to this beautiful Wednesday because I thought it was Thursday. I was so excited, but it's Wednesday.
it's okay.
You believe so strong. I was starting to believe, man.
I think we're all like in need of a Thursday.
Yeah, or a
But
Friday.
don't worry, it is coming. But what's coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast Show today is our parenting expert Nikki Bush with us, and she talks about the importance of play and how that is so incredibly important for your child's development.
Absolutely, yeah. And then speaking of playing, a man who has played the most incredible music, whom I regard, in my humble opinion, as one of the icons of South African, and world music. We get to know him better, and he's playing live on our Feel Good Breakfast Show today. I'm, of course, talking about no one else than Mr. Johnny Clegg.
Amazing. And then, of course, we need to check out what's trending this morning. A very cute story about Kat, so definitely stay tuned for that. Not him, the actual animal.
The furry kind. And then Mumsy is in the house. We're going to get his My Money story this morning. Very successful comedian. He is getting it right in the world of entertainment, which is tough. We know that for any entertainer, but he is doing something right. We're going to try and unlock the key to his success.
Yeah, he's loaded. He's got lots
I'm
of
going to
money.
ask him if he's loaded. Are you loaded? You feel loaded? Awesome.
Well, it's going to be a fantastic Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start off the day by taking a look at the temperatures all around the country.
Thank you so much, team. It's going to be a fantastic Wednesday indeed. Let's quickly start it off with your temperatures. And it seems like most parts of the country can expect icy cold morning temperatures today, reaching the lower 20s with partly cloudy to sunny conditions. Your temperatures this morning: Polokwane skop af op 5 grade minimum, dit styg na maksimum van 20. Mbombela 9:22, Pretoria 6:21, Johannesburg begin op 5 grade, dit styg na 20 maksimum. Mahikeng 6:24, Klerksdorp 4 grade vanoggend en 23 later. Kimberley 4:20, Bloemfontein lekker koud -2 en 'n maksimum van 20 later. Richards Bay 15:22, Pietermaritzburg 7:20, Durban on 15 this morning and a maximum of 21. Mthatha 5:20, East London 12:21, Cradock 5 this morning and a maximum of 20. Port Elizabeth 10:20, George 8:18, Sutherland on a 1 degree, staying cool with a maximum of only 13. Cape Town 12:15, Worcester 5:18, Springbok on a 1 degree minimum this morning and a maximum of 20, and Uppington on 4 degrees, warming up to 23 later on. That's a wrap of your weather. We'll keep you updated with those temperatures throughout the course of your Wednesday morning. I'm back just after 7.
Well, we start with your traffic this morning, not on a good note. We take a look in Cape Town and Gugulethu. Now, on the N2 inbound, there's some traffic restrictions. That's between the R300 and the airport. That's due to roadworks causing further delays this morning, so allow for some extra travel time. And just quickly, the train lines, there are also some power failures taking place on the Northern Line in Paarl. Now, a train shuttle as well as replacement bus services, they are in operation. However, you can expect a delay of 40 to 60 minutes in your morning commute. That's where we leave your traffic for now. We'll bring you another update in half an hour's time.
A more regal wave? You're a queen? No.
Well, it's time for us to go and check out what's happening on social media. Now, today is the June solstice, meaning it's the shortest day of the year. And after today, our days will be longer, which kind of makes me sad because the nights will be shorter. Anyways, we wanted to know from you, if you had only a few hours left on Earth, what would you spend your time doing? Tabang says, I would spend time with my whole family and also volunteer to help disadvantaged people in my community. Valdine says, I would make a big lunch and invite all my family, friends, and homeless people. Innocent says, I would do all the things I'm not able to do with full force and fire. And then Karabo says, morning, making a difference in my community, and I will not forget to smile. And then let's end over with Mickey, who says, I would probably make peace with everyone. That's a very, very good idea. So let us know, if you had only a few hours left on this earth, what would you spend your time doing?
What a question, eh?
I definitely
I
spend
guess
it with my
Leanne will be
boy.
getting her Thursday sooner because it's the winter solstice, so this day will be a lot shorter, Leanne. You'd have to live through this entire Wednesday.
It'll be easier to survive. Now, before you scold your kids or judge yourself too harshly, we're going to get into the importance of play. It's hardwired into us. Nikki Bush joins us for that.
And then afterwards, we get to know the man behind the music. Johnny Clegg joins us on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Make sure not to miss out on that. We'll be right back.
Rain falling like a symphony on the rooftop of my heart. Memories of the moon before this big dream starts. I see your eyes shining like a neon light. You smiling in the dark.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
A very warm welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And we take a look at what is happening in the world of all of our celebrities out there. Hey, people are living their bestest lives.
They're living their best lives. Kat and I were actually talking about it the other day when we saw some of these amazing photos, because it's no doubt this man's doing an amazing job. He was incredible at the summers, so you must just relax sometimes.
You need to. The stress
when you
of the
work hard,
summers?
you
What?
play hard. So taking to Instagram, some Gaga shared absolutely stunning photos of his latest vacation. Between looking oh so stylish, soaking up the sun and exploring the city, we can't help but just think that, you know, he's really amazing. And based on these photos, I'm going to say that he's currently in Zanzibar.
He actually is.
That's
On one of his
Stone Town.
Instagram pictures, he tagged the location as Zanzibar.
I love it.
Cover the combination. Like, even when he goes on holiday, he does the most in terms of his outfits. They're always looking like they're curated for the day, for the location. I don't know how he does it, but it's amazing.
You got to have your look of the day. So I don't know. It's absolutely amazing. He must continue to just have a great time. So there's something that I also just want to make you aware of.
Okay.
There is something in the water because yet another radio DJ has become a mom. And we're talking about Fix from 5FM.
Hey.
She's officially a mom because baby girl was born. And of course, on Instagram, the radio personality shared adorable photos of baby daddy with the little one. First posting one in color and then posting one in black and white. But both of them are just so cute. So I don't know if it actually is something in the water, because if it is, then Zoe, you need to watch out, girl, because I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I know I'm in radio too, but I'm not drinking that water.
Do we know a name yet?
We don't have a name as... Oh, no, we do! Malachi.
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 It's a beautiful name.
It's beautiful, hey?
Stunning. Well, congratulations
Absolutely.
to
Very
Fix
biblical.
and husband and new baby. Oh, may you have all of the blessings and beauty that life has to give. And
Are you broody?
Am I broody? I'm not broody. I just love kids, period.
But not for yourself at this point.
No. I'm no way. No, goodness gracious. I couldn't change a nappy right now with a straight face. Anywho, on that bombshell, that is your entertainment news on the local front.
Well, listen, that was your local entertainment news, and keeping things local, just hot off the heels of the opening of their fourth 4DX cinema in South Africa, New Metro brings you Transformers The Last Night. That's on the same day as its global release, and it's even better though because you can experience it in 4DX cinemas nationwide as part of the latest Expresso New Metro Club giveaway.
And that alone is incredible. Now, I mean, New Metro's 4DX cinemas offer 3D visuals along with Dolby 7.1 surround sound, enhanced with effects such as wind, water, scents, moving seats, lightning effects, and loads more, which will actually leave you feeling like a transformer at the end of it. You can experience it at V&A Waterfront, the Pavilion, Menlyn Park, and Hyde Park, and also the newly opened Emperor's Palace.
Oh, exciting things. Now, to stand a chance to win by simply SMSing the keyword NIGHT, that's KNIGHT, your name and city to 40675, and you could be a winner. Now, remember, you need to add the city in which you're able to watch the screening.
Absolutely. So, with humans and Transformers at war, Optimus Prime gone, and lives on the line, will this be the end of the world as we know it? Enter and stand a chance to win and find out.
Find the best entertainment at New Metro Cinemas. It's your scene.
I can only imagine what it will be like to see it on 4DX, because I've experienced the whole 4DX cinema.
Me too. It's been
and
cool.
It's incredible.
Watch Beauty and the Beast and that. Well, you know what? It's now that time of the morning for us to turn our attention to our family, and Nikki Bush joins us in studio to share some of the knowledge on the benefits of play during your child's early development.
Dominant research shows that early learning should be based on discovery through play. And it doesn't have to be stressful. It should, in fact, be fun. And this morning, our creative parenting expert, Nikki Bush, is in the house to show us what a good educational toy looks like and what a child can learn through play. I love that, because I love to play. And I remember playing a lot as a child. What is it about play that makes it such an effective learning tool? Why is it so vital?
When children are unstressed, when they're relaxed, when they're having fun, their brains are most open to learning and to discovery. And so, you know, the myth is that all learning comes out of books and happens at school, and this is actually not the truth. There is a lot to be learnt at school through the formal curriculum, but there's an enormous amount that children learn that create the foundations for academic learning through play.
Why have we as parents forgotten this? We ourselves have learned through play and enjoy life through play. Why do we disconnect?
We've become so busy and so serious and time-starved, time-bound, that we've forgotten that we're actually naturally wired to play. We're naturally wired to have fun. And today, playing with your children and having fun has almost become a conscious effort. We've got to switch the button on, which is quite sad, really.
It should be our default.
It should.
You have brought with, I said you were going to bring us an example of what a really good play educational toy looks like. I'm looking at something that looks amazing. I'm learning just looking at it now. But talk us through what you've got here on the table.
So the reason I've brought this product here, and it's a beautiful wooden product, and it's called the Pyramid of Play, is because many parents don't actually know what a good educational toy looks like. And for me, a really good educational toy is something that a child interacts with. It doesn't do for the child does with it. The child discovers through play, and it's multi-purpose. There are many things you can do with this product, and it will last from around probably 18 months of age through to about 4 or 5 years of age if you know what to do with it.
Those learning and reading skills as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So obviously here we've got wooden building blocks, and they go in different sizes. We've got to get them in the right order in order for them to fit together. And initially, a little child is just going to actually bash this down. You will build, they will bash it down. We're talking about incidental learning here. So a 3-year-old who's playing with this doesn't understand that's the number 5, but they're seeing it with their eyes. Whatever the eyes see, it creates a motor copy in the brain. And when they start counting, so you ask them, show me 2 fingers, they will remember that there's a 2 somewhere on here, or a 3, or how many fingers on your hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, there's a number 5, and they're also reading it even though they're not reading it. Wow. It's incidental reading. And then with counting, we count objects, just as we can count these shapes over here. So we've got 4 ducks, give me 4 shapes. And here, for example, we have shapes, and these shapes get sorted and pushed through the hole. So we've got to match the shape to the hole in the box. So this is one-to-one correspondence. It's matching. It's
and there's colour.
Fine motor coordination. 3D. So feel that. It's different to when you're on a screen. So on that tablet, you are swiping on a flat surface. You can't work out what the sides feel like, that they're flat,
what's a
they're
square,
round.
what's an edge?
Exactly. Children need a multisensory physical experience of their world to understand their world.
And I would imagine then that the learning techniques out of this and how you can use this tool just gets exponentially greater. There are just so many.
Hugely here. So there's Play-Doh. And we take our little star and we create an impression in our Play-Doh. So how you can extend an educational toy, it's endless.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. The big lesson here is getting a child not to eat the Play-Doh, but of course we know that you can make edible Play-Doh now as well.
This is true.
So absolutely amazing. Oh, thank you so much. I can't wait to delve a little deeper into how our child can benefit from this. But I'm thinking there's also an opportunity here for you to connect and enjoy a little bit of quality time with your child through this process. Maybe learn a few new things like me this morning as well through that process. So please make sure that you take the time to identify those ideal toys that are going to help your child learn through play.
Well, thank you very much, Graham. Now, we are honoured this morning to welcome the one and only Ubaba Johnny Clegg, who has produced more than 4 decades of life-changing, life-affirming and groundbreaking music for hundreds of thousands of fans and people who admire and adore him around the world. Now, from the time he began mastering Zulu music and traditional Zulu intlangwini dancing as a teenager, to the formation of Johnny and Sipho, and then Juluka with Sipho Mchunu in the late 70s, to the creation of Savuka, and the past 23 years as a solo artist, Ubaba has carved out a music career that places him alongside the world's most acclaimed artists. And this morning we are so honoured to have him on the couch amidst his farewell tour. Can we please have a round of applause? Johnny Clegg.
Thank you.
Kunjani na?
Yes,
this morning. And as I said those words, that you are now on the brink of going on to your farewell tour, I'm filled with sadness. And I almost want to say, why? Why?
Because it's time, really. You know, I'm finishing an autobiography, and the idea really is that I'm going to do a worldwide farewell tour, which is an autobiographical show. So my full story, of which I've told bits and pieces along the way in different shows, I'm integrating into a single show, and then I'm hanging up my boots.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I hope we'll still be able to come for a little private concert somewhere there, where you're just holding a guitar and around a braai fire or something like that.
That'll be fine.
Tell me about how you being a British national, having moved to Zimbabwe, then immigrating to South Africa, that has influenced the way in which you not only accept but understand culture and multiculturalism so deeply.
I left England when I was 6 months old. My mom was born in Zimbabwe. I grew up on a farm until I was 7. Then she married a South African journalist. We moved to South Africa, and then about a year or 2 later, we moved to Zambia. And Zambia was a very important part of my transformation because the country was non-racial. There were more black kids at school than white. So I had a different model of how society can be structured and organized.
Yeah.
And when I came back to South Africa, it was pretty difficult for me. I was 11, 12, 13, around about that age. And my mom was a musician, I was learning guitar, and when I met a Zulu street guitar musician, that kind of opened the road for me. And I was open to it because I'd come from Zambia at that time.
Yeah.
So it was really being a migrant in these three countries that enabled me to, at a young age, have a much more open idea about people, culture, and places.
When you think about the reasons and the motivation why you made music back then and how you make it now and throughout the years, has that changed?
Not really, because Maskanda music is divided, that Zulu street guitar music, is divided into two broad traditions. One is the adaptation of existing traditional music, which was never designed for guitar. And then there is the troubadour part of it, which is making social commentary about your life in the hostels, the wars you're fighting, the problems you're having with women, whatever it is. And you sing it, you walk through the streets and you sing these little bits of social information. And so that aspect of my songwriting has always been there. It's shaped by that Maskanda tradition. I've always made a comment about what I see around me, and has been very important in my songwriting, I suppose, tradition. And
speaking of songs, we all have our favorites. But what is Johnny Clegg's favorite Johnny Clegg song?
Scatterlings of Africa. It was the song that launched Juluka internationally in 1982. And when we recorded it with Savuka, it launched my second band. It went to #1 in France, Switzerland, Belgium. So the song has been a very important career platform for me. But also it came out of a period of, I suppose, fierce debate about the origins of man coming from Africa. And at that time, there was no population genetics. Population genetics really started in around about 1985, 86. And I wrote the song in 1982. And we were all trying to understand the significance of paleontological evidence, bones, and, you know, and the oldest, as we knew then, came from Africa. And so we posited that Africa was the birthplace. And then when population genetics came around, we could prove definitively that the oldest genes were African.
And we are all scatterlings.
And we're all scatterlings of Africa.
Wow. So listen, if you want to see the man himself, the legend that is Johnny Clegg live, be sure to catch him at Grand West on Friday the 30th of June, then at the ICC in Durban on the 29th of July, also then at Monte Casino on the 10th, 11th and 12th of August. There are also dates there in July on the 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th of July. But of course, if you're not able to make those shows, then make sure that you stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show, because he will be performing live in just a bit.
Oh, do stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show. Apart from the performance, we're also going to take a look at what's trending, including a little kitty cat that gets very comfortable in a hammock.
Very sweet. Then, of course, with the heartbreaking revelation that there are a limited number of performances left to see him perform live, you want to stick around. Johnny Clegg will be on the mic here in your Feel Good Breakfast show studio after the break. We'll see you now.
Struggle with commitment? Before trying anywhere else, book on Travelstart. We will turn your guilt trips into good trips. Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
On the earth for the daughter share the sound, while your earth unfolds like a cheap street fight. kukhala bangcwele Afrika kukhala bangcwele wema Afrika kukhala bangcwele Afrika kukhala bangcwele wema alala Afrika kukhala bangcwele Afrika kukhala bangcwele wema Afrika kukhala bangcwele Afrika kukhala bangcwele wema Okay. Okay, cool.
Truncate everything for
Yes. Is that okay?
Are you guys happy with levels?
Yeah. I love the reverb on my voice. Yo. And then what is it? Scan. It was here.
I will stay here. Yeah.
Where they put it. It's on the chip. Okay.
Just check if it seals it properly on the chip. You might need to adjust the screw.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
A very warm welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Mokhaitse, bona gore re itumetse jang on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning on Expresso as we currently, of course, welcome Johnny Clegg, who's preparing for his farewell tour that starts off on the 30th of June. And this morning, he'll be performing a song that brought a nation together. And the song was originally produced on the track with Sipho Mkhunu as part of Juluka and was featured on their first album, Universal Men. Here he is performing Afrika.
Straight in. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Afrika kukhala bangcwele Afrika kukhala bangcwele wema Afrika kukhala bangcwele Afrika kukhala bangcwele wema alala alala Rain falling like a symphony on the rooftop of my heart. There's a movement in the silent deep before this big dream starts. I see your eyes shining like a neon light. You smiling in the dark. Ooh, what made you so strong? What made you so strong? I see you walking in the marketplace. You buy political regret. You've been walking on the water again. You know your feet never get wet. You just said Afrika kukhala bangcwele Afrika kukhala bangcwele wema Afrika kukhala bangcwele Africa kukhala bangcwele wema alala alala I say a prayer for the innocent ones. I say a prayer for our love. I say a prayer for peace on earth, for the daughters and the sons. While your life unfolds like a cheap street fight, you're smiling in the dark. You just say, Africa kukhala bangcwele, Africa kukhala bangcwele wema, Africa kukhala bangcwele, Africa kukhala bangcwele wema alala. Africa kukhala bangcwele, Africa kukhala bangcwele wema, Africa kukhala bangcwele, Africa kukhala bangcwele wema. Africa kukhala bangcwele, khala bangcwele, Africa kukhala bangcwele wema, Africa kukhala bangcwele, khala bangcwele wema, Africa kukhala bangcwele wema alala alala.
The one and only Mr. Johnny Clegg on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. What a way to start this morning. Thank you so much. Of course, comment on our Facebook page and let us know what you thought about that performance. There'll be more from Johnny Clegg later on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you, Gats. In the national news this morning, credit rating firm Standard & Poor's Global is warning South Africa's ratings could be cut deeper into junk territory if government meddles with the critical independence of the country's central bank. A row over the South African Reserve Bank has escalated after the public protector called for the bank to focus on growth more than maintaining currency and price stability. Earlier this year, the ratings agency stripped South Africa of the coveted investment grade rating. The South African Social Security Agency has turned to the High Court in Pretoria to apply for leave to appeal a judgment involving the unauthorized deduction from social grant beneficiaries. Last month, the High Court ruled that amendments to regulations should not hinder deductions being made from beneficiaries' bank accounts, meaning Net1 could continue making unauthorized deductions. SASSA says deductions made by Net1's subsidiary, Cash Paymaster Services, are working against government's program of fighting poverty. Now moving further abroad, according to the Catholic Church, more than 3,300 people have been killed in the violence in the Democratic Republic of Congo's Kasai region since last October. The deaths are a result of clashes between the army and a rebel group, but civilians have also been caught up in the violence. Meanwhile, the UN has reported on the discovery of more than 20 mass graves, but has put the death toll so far at about 400. And then finally, US President Donald Trump has called North Korea a brutal regime after the death of a US student who had been jailed there for more than 15 months. North Korea returned Otto Warmbier to the US last week, saying that he had been in a coma for a year and that it was acting on humanitarian grounds. His parents, however, say that he had been subjected to awful, torturous mistreatment. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Let's get our very first look at what's happening in the world of sport. Here's Graham.
We start our global sports watch with cricket, with the Champions Trophy, of course, done and dusted. The Proteas return to T20 action today as they take on England in the first game of their three-match T20 series. South Africa's last showing in the shortest format of the game saw them earn a 78-run victory over New Zealand. A once-off T20 match back in February. Tonight's game gets underway at the Rose Bowl in Southampton from 7:30 South African time. Then on to continental football. SuperSport United and TP Mazembe had to share the spoils after they played out to a goalless scoreless draw in their Confederations Cup or Champions Cup game last night, rather. Despite having 7 shots at goal compared to Mazembe's 2, Masatsansa couldn't find the back of the net, leaving them in second place in Group D. That's 2 points behind leaders Horea FC. The CAF Champions League continues tonight as Mamelodi Sundowns travel to Esperance. Wydad AC tackle Al Ahly, while USM Alger take on Zamalek. Then match 5 of the 2017 Confederations Cup takes place tonight as Portugal tackle hosts Russia in Moscow. Well, Russia top Group A with 3 points. Portugal currently sit 2 points back in third. That was after a last-minute goal from Hector Moreno saw Portugal slump to a 2-2 draw with Mexico. That was in their first round of fixtures. Tonight's only other matchup sees Mexico up against New Zealand in Sochi. And in tennis, Roger Federer earned his 1,100th win, unbelievably, on the ATP Tour yesterday as he beat Japan's Yoshi Sugita in straight sets in the opening round of the Haley Open. World number 5 progressed to the next round thanks to a simple-looking 6-3, 6-1 win, continuing his quest for a 9th title at the German tournament. Elsewhere on the day, there were round 1 victories for Kei Nishikori, Bernard Tomic, and 20-year-old Alexander Zverev. And if you're looking for a story that's blowing up online at the moment, wait for Nick Kirk. He made it to a dominance of the podium at the Zverev IAAF meet last night, getting under 10 seconds again, 9.94, a personal best in the 100 meters. So we're sending him all our congratulations. And that's where we leave our sport for now.
Well, let's take another look at your traffic, starting off in Gauteng and Midrand. There's a stationary vehicle on the N1 southbound near the Baklu interchange, so you can expect some congestion on that route. In Cape Town and Athlone, traffic is slow moving on Klipfontein Road westbound, causing congestion between Belgravia Road and the M5 highway. That's where we leave your traffic for now. We'll bring you another update in an hour's time.
Just a couple of minutes past 7 o'clock. Let's quickly get you updated on your weather for your Wednesday morning. And it looks like most parts of the country can expect a nice and icy cold start for this morning, reaching the low to mid-20s later on today. You can also expect partly cloudy to sunny conditions throughout South Africa today. Polokwane kicking off on 5 degrees minimum, Mbombela 9.22, Pretoria 6.21, Johannesburg 5.20, Mahikeng 6.24, Klerksdorp begin op 4, dit styg na 23, Kimberley 4.20, Bloemfontein lekker koud, -2 en 'n maksimum van 20 later, Richards Bay 15.22, Pietermaritzburg 7 en 'n maksimum van 20, Durban 15.21, Mthatha 5.20, East London 12.21, Cradock starting off on 5, reaching a high of 20 degrees, Port Elizabeth 10.20, George 8.18, Sutherland on a 1 degree minimum and a maximum of 13, Cape Town 12.15, Worcester on 5 degrees minimum and a maximum of 18, Springbok 1.20 and Uppington starting off on 4 degrees minimum, reaching a maximum of 23 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather for the 7 o'clock bulletin. We've got one update for you left just after 8.
Well, of course, it's time for us to check out what's happening on social media this morning. I found this hashtag International Yoga Day 2017. All around the world, they are celebrating yoga and all of the positive properties that come with it. They say here, Chinese and Indian yoga lovers come together to celebrate hashtag yoga at the iconic Great Wall of China. How amazing is that one? Someone also says, wishing all good health, happiness and peace on International Yoga Day. Let's move down a bit further here. Somebody says, a mind free from all disturbances is hashtag yoga. And then I'm going to end off with this one that says, you can't always control what happens on the outside, but you can control what goes on the inside. International Yoga Day 2017. I like that. So if you're looking for some more inspiration, you can go and check out that hashtag.
At Samsung, we develop technology so you can live life. Samsung, a way of life.
Guys, I'm absolutely convinced when you start your day with Ubaba Johnny Clegg, nothing can go wrong, hey? Nothing can go wrong. Oh, my word.
How special was that?
Thank you, sir. I can't wait to hear more. But right now, let's quickly log in online and check out all those funny, amazing, and random stories that have been entertaining us on social media. What do we have today, guys?
Okay. Start with random.
Well, we're going to start with very random. We know, like, I know we all have siblings, so
Yeah.
being introduced to that new sibling, it can go either way. You
Yeah.
either love it or you hate it. But how's this? A dog got introduced to the new pet hamster, and it didn't go as well. So take a look at him. He was not interested in the new family member. He was like, nope, what is that?
Don't want.
He
Just
was,
don't make
nope,
eye contact.
Nope.
Just don't make eye contact.
I might just love him. Stop it. That's hilarious.
Oh, those eyes, man. That's going to become a meme instantly. Absolutely love it. Now, on the not so random side, this is quite a cool story. You might have seen, of course, a strangely kitted out car driving around with cameras all over it. Of course, mapping out streets for Google Maps. But obviously, there are some areas of the Earth that you can't get to via car. So someone actually had to go and hike there to get all of these incredible images with that camera mount on his back.
Sure.
Unbelievable. I'd love to know how much that cost.
That's insane.
But don't worry, he wasn't completely alone. He did have a golden retriever buddy with him to help kind of make the journey that much easier. Very, very sweet.
How much do you think you get paid for that job?
It might be its
But look,
own
the dog's with
reward.
him everywhere.
Yeah.
That might be one of the coolest jobs in the world.
So that golden retriever is going to be on some of your Google
He's going to be on
Earth
those
shots.
pictures, man.
Everywhere in the world, people are like, Jesus, golden retrievers across the globe. They're taking over. Have them in China?
That's a very cool story, man. Listen, let's run you through one last very quick story. We know that babies have car seats, dogs have harnesses, so it's only right that our feline friends should have something as well. So how about this hammock that sticks to the inside of a car window where he can enjoy a royal view of whatever he's passing by?
He be chilling.
So this was, the cat's name is Meeboon. Okay, his cat's name is Meeboon. He's royalty, as you can see in his little hammock.
That's hilarious.
Would you get one for Sailor?
You know what? He is a nightmare in the car. Like, even in his carrier, he like whines. So I don't even think he would sit still in a hammock.
Zoe's relationship with her cat went from love to, I don't know what you call it.
To hamster.
He's
From
now
to
like-
hamster.
No, when she takes him around in his
still
harness,
love
he looks like a black octopus.
Let us know what you're following online. Use #Expresso Show.
That's right. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, it's Wednesday, which means we are talking finances and more specifically how your money can work for you.
And we're going to find out if Mumsy, comedian's money, is working for him, getting his #MyMoneyStory. We'll see you now.
I'm a dreamer, a doer. I know the hustle. I just need my money to hustle for me.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Expresso, and thank you for choosing your morning to start off with your feel-good breakfast show. Well, it's now that time for us to turn our financial magnifying glass on another celebrity with the #MyMoneyStory.
And today's very special guest is one of South Africa's best-loved comedians, Mumsy.
So it's time once again for one of my favorite segments here on the show, hashtag My Money Story with Expresso, where each week, we sit down with someone who has made a success in their respective field to learn a little bit more about that all-important relationship that they share with money and, of course, the lessons they've learned along the way. So our guest today has been part of the writing team of ZA or ZA News that has won 2 SAFTA awards. He appeared in commercials for pretty much every brand that has ever operated in South Africa. And most of all, he has made a name as one of the top South African comedians, and he's an awesome gent, currently performing at the Cape Town Comedy Club. This week, it's Mumsy.
What's happening? What's happening? How are you?
Ah, very good. It's awesome to see you, dude. Busy man at the moment.
Yeah, very busy. I've got to stay busy, you know what I mean? Like, if I don't stay busy, I'll end up doing something ridiculous.
Oh, you don't earn any dollars, dude. You ain't getting paid. And, of course, Grant Benzel joins us.
You're not the comedian, right?
But I'll try, man. I'll try.
But thanks for making time for us, though.
No, of course. I mean, I find it funny that you guys wanted a comedian to talk about money. I was like,
well,
this is going to be exciting.
I mean, like, we need a successful comedian. Well, I've got a list. It's not very long, but it is. But that's the truth of it, man. It's tough out there. You work in a very cutthroat industry that, yes, is about laughs, but it ain't no laughing matter when you've got to really put bread on the table and you've got to make a success of this very creative field. Taking a few steps back, can you remember your first kind of relevant memory of money?
My first memory of money, actually, you know, my first... okay, so my dad was like, we come from a very poor family. Which is great, so I'm still poor now.
Continuity.
Haven't really come a long way. But it was actually weird because like my dad was one of those guys who, if something cost R2.67, he paid R2.67.
Yeah.
If something cost R5.27, he paid R5.27. So the first time that I actually went with one of my friends' moms, and they went to a shop, and they gave a note and got money back. That was the first time I ever experienced change in my life. I was like, I want in on this money back guarantee thing. This is the most exciting thing ever.
Oh my gosh, I can get some money out of this machine.
Your dad was the reason why we did away with the 2-cent coin, dude. And it's good because I'm assuming that's instilled a very valuable lesson about the value of every cent and how you can make that work for you. And when you look back over the lessons that you've learned, and I'm sure in the entertainment field you've learned many hardcore lessons about money, what are some of those that stand out?
I think the biggest, especially in entertainment, is that like most of the time you find yourself in a position where you'll be very busy, right? Yeah. And it's very exciting, doing lots of gigs and lots of work and everything. And then there's going to be that long period or that short period, depending on how successful you are. For me, it's a short period. But in that period, you really need to make sure that you would have prepared for, you know, the fact that you're not going to be getting as many regular jobs as you usually get, you know? And that's where you actually require things like investments or at least some kind of understanding of savings.
This seems to be something, Grant, that comes up a lot. Continuity and discipline. Yeah. Don't just enjoy the good times, but prepare for the bad.
You know, when it comes to the freelancing space, because that's pretty much what actors are, what you're doing, is a freelance. And, you know, whenever I sit down with someone in those sort of professions, I always say, you know, that is the very profession that needs to have a proper budget. Because those are the guys that are always like, you know what, I'll just, whenever money comes in, I'll kind of just do what I need to do, you know? And I'm like, whoa, what happens if it doesn't come in for like 3 or 4 months, you know? And then you get these big paychecks and then you have to live for another 3 or 4 months, whatever the case. So I think it's really important to understand, and what you do know is that, you know, these things are coming and going as they come, you know, but at the end of the day, if you manage your money properly and if you have like what we call an emergency fund so that you can pull money out of for rainy days, and then you don't actually even have to worry about a thing. And you know what I find is when we're dealing with guys that are in this space, if you create that stable or that stability, they're more creative.
You can be better at your job.
Way more creative. Although, how funny is that? And then you get more jobs.
I don't know if that works for comedians, dude, because I think, unfortunately, you're constantly making light of the dark side, really.
Yeah. No, it's like, no one wants to hear, like, I've got money jokes. No. Poor jokes win. Like, they work.
That's the first and the last time you're going to drop that particular punchline, dude. But, Mumsy, awesome to have you here. And I know you've got a couple of questions for Grant, so he's going to prepare his big old brain for that. But we'd love for you to weigh in as well. Think about your hashtag money story, and let us know if there's anything you want us to plug into Grant's big old brain for. But stay tuned. We're going to continue this very interesting discussion a little bit later in the show.
Looking forward to hearing more from Mumsy. And, it's amazing how changing your perspective can make you see money so differently.
That's so right. And here's a question. Can we get our hard-earned money to work just as hard as we do? Well, let's find out.
Now, we all have what it takes to succeed. We all have a passion, even though sometimes it's undiscovered. But yes, we have that passion and the drive to achieve great things in our lives. We work hard for our money, especially as South Africans. We know we work hard. But now, we just need our money to work hard for us. Wouldn't that be an ideal world? And here to help us change the way that we see money is Desmond Osman and, of course, Vanessa Singh from Nedbank. Thanks once again for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
The new tagline and the new ad that goes with it, I think, really tells a truly South African and a truly inspiring story. But I need to know more, Vanessa, about how Nedbank is challenging South Africans there to change the way that they see money.
It's based on this universal truth around money well managed can make a real difference to people's lives. One should always take it seriously. Now, when you make money, and you work hard to make money, right? You hustle to make money. And so how do you make your money work for you just as hard? And that's where we come in. So Nedbank, our role is to ensure that whatever you do with your money, it works hard for you. So whatever you're spending on, you're spending wisely. Whenever you invest your money or you save your money, you make it work harder for you in terms of growing your money. And that's the role of the bank. Yeah?
Yeah, and we do know that when you're hustling, sometimes you start from the very, very smallest point. And, where something like spending as much as R5, that does mean, something for you. But let's talk about the R5 account, because that's a very interesting proposition that you're putting out there to South Africans. Tell me more about how that is going to help us see money differently, especially the pay-as-you-use aspect of it.
The R5 pay-as-you-use account is an awesome account. It's one that's born off the back of staying in control of what you're actually using in banking. It's for the guy that really is wanting to know, what am I getting out of my bank account? Mm-hmm. Now, people say, what can you really still buy for R5 these days? I put out and say you can buy free internet banking. You can buy free cell phone banking. You can buy unlimited card swipes. And you can even bank on an app that doesn't need you to bank with any data. This is what's packed in this R5 account.
When you were mentioning all the different value adds that you get for this R5 pay-as-you-use account, I was thinking, but then that makes perfect sense with your money working harder for you. Because if you had to imagine you taking that R5 now out there into the world and trying to do all those things with just R5.
Impossible.
It's nearly impossible, right? So there's certainly a big link between the two. I think we need to make sure that everyone out there sees R5 differently right now. We need to see money very differently. We can do a lot more with that. But of course, the big excitement coming up is that of the Nedbank Cup final. It's been 10 years of the Nedbank Cup, and we've got Amapaga Chuju and Matatanta Pitori, if you want to call them that way. This is a big point of excitement for the country. Throughout the tournament, it's been very, very exciting. And now with the finale in Durban, I wonder how much does it mean to you guys as Nedbank, as an organisation, to be the reason behind one of South Africa's biggest passions that we celebrate?
This year in particular has been quite a momentous year. It's our 10th anniversary of the Nedbank Cup. Mm-hmm. And there's so much of excitement in the bank, amongst our staff, amongst our clients, and this year's final is going to be epic. So on Saturday, the 24th of June, at Moses Mabhida Stadium, it's going to be epic. But for us, may the best team win.
I'll be the only one who impartially will mention that the Pirates was beaten 6-0 during the season. So, but I'm just a sour Khosi fan saying that. But then also, with the Passion playoffs that were kind of, working hand in hand with the Nedbank Cup as well, we're seeing Mihlali taking on Boiti. First of all, sisters doing it for themselves, getting through all the way, those fans coming through for them. But tell me about the story behind the Passion playoffs and why passion is such a big thing for Nedbank.
For us, we realized that South Africans are passionate people, whether it be soccer, whether it be music, whether it be makeup, whether it be exercise. And we just wanted to find a way to engage South Africans where they are. Mm-hmm. So we invited 8 celebrity captains and said to them, hey, You've seen the Nedbank Cup, you've seen the knockout tournament. How about we get you guys to knock each other out using your own passions? We invited Donovan Goliath, stand-up comedian of note. We had guys like Boity, and her exercise fitness seems to still be going strong as she enters the final. We can't wait to see what happens at 10 a.m. today. Nedbank Facebook Live, Boity versus Mihlali. I don't want to be asked if I could choose a favorite.
At the end of the day, these two women are going to strut their stuff, but it's South Africans who's going to see who's going to win. And the nice thing is that we're also taking a winner. Whoever sends the most emojis, they get to meet their celeb. They go live, they go to the Nedbank Cup final with their celeb to experience the Nedbank Cup.
It will be a crazy day going to the finals. But thank you so much to both of you for being here. And I think you've really gotten it at home that it's not just about how you make money or the money that you make, but how you use that money and make it work for you. So do get your money working as hard as it can, especially as hard as you are working right now. And of course, don't forget the Passion Playoffs finale today at 10 a.m., all happening on the Nedbank Facebook page.
I'm a dreamer, a doer. I know the hustle. I just need my money to hustle for me.
I love that. Thank you so much, Nedbank. Always giving us the keys on how to make our money work for us. That's incredible.
That is incredible indeed. Well, someone that's got his money working for him, we're talking to comedian Mumsy about his #MyMoneyStory.
So we're continuing #MyMoneyStory. We've got an awesome panel this morning. Grant Vincel, always here, always awesome. Mumsy, an award-winning comedian, and a guy who really is proving that you can take your art, your passion, no matter how creative and high risk it is, and make a success of it, whatever you define success to be. And I know a part of that is family. Some of it has to be financial. So, dude, I'm sure like me, you have a lot of questions relating to your financial well-being. But now we've got Grant here. We've got an opportunity for you to ask probably the most important question. So what really stands out for you? What big questions do you have for the man?
Okay, so realistically...
No.
When the comedian says realistically, then you don't know what's coming.
Okay, so every single time that every year, seriously, every year when it comes to the tax, the tax returns, right? So this is actually quite a burning thing for me.
Yeah, me too.
I always just hand over everything to my tax practitioner because I actually have no idea what is going on and what to do, right? However, being in entertainment and freelancing, there are certain things that there's certain expenses that are going to be tax deductible.
Yeah.
And I could actually prepare for in my actual purchasing decisions that would also help my taxes.
Sure.
That for me is, how do I figure that out? Do you know what I mean?
That is one of the coolest questions we've actually had, and also very relevant to me as well.
Very so cool. a lot of freelancers, because you're a sole proprietor, right? You are the company, so you are the brand. So at the end of the day, I would say everyone would be different, but you would want to get whoever you're dealing with, your tax practitioner, to sit down with you and give you a list and say, listen, dude, you can write this off as tax from a tax thing. So most of the time, if you're taking a big client out for a meal, you know, that should be something you could be able to write off as tax. But if you're taking your girlfriend out for a meal, you can't say, listen, I'm taking my client out for a meal, you know?
Unless your girlfriend is your client.
I was going to say, then you're in trouble.
Then there's no hope.
You don't want to pay girlfriends to be your girlfriend.
I've made that mistake. I'm kidding. It's a family show.
So I think you're 100% on the money. You need to definitely get your list of things, and there'll literally be a few items that you could definitely write off as tax, as a tax deduction. Getting to understand that and know that is quite easy. It's not something that's complicated. Whenever people talk about tax, everyone goes blank, you know?
It's intimidating.
They're like, listen, I've got a tax practitioner, I'm going to pay him and he'll sort it out for me. It's really not that complicated, and you'll be able to get your head around it very quickly. It's just about, like anything in life, you just have to apply your mind, really. Once you've applied your mind, it'll take you maybe 3 to 4 months to understand what's going on, and then it's done.
I would certainly add to it getting serious, seriously here.
Seriously.
You've got to be educated yourself because you don't know, as much as, yes, we can trust the majority of tax practitioners out there, things can happen that are out of your control when you're not taking cognizance of that entire process. So you have to, as someone who's been burned in the past, I've now, by educating myself, I feel so much more secure and protected, and I'm getting so much more back because I know. Dude, thank you so much. I know you're performing at the Cape Town Comedy Club tonight, so if you thought he was funny today, that wasn't barely even scratching the surface, dude. But thank you for getting serious with us for a moment, and all the best to you and your 2 beautiful girls.
Thank you.
That's a full-time job right there. Grant, thank you so much, man. I know it takes a lot to demystify these things, especially when it comes to tax, but that's the bottom line, guys. You've got to educate yourself, and you be that front line of defense. Don't just trust your tax practitioner, but you just educate yourself, and you'll be amazed at how much more you can get out of your financial life and well-being.
Yes.
Well, we're taking a quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. And who said you can't work hard and play hard while on a workcation? We have Linda Balme from Travelstart this morning, and that's what we're going to be talking about.
And then, Zoe, do you know that there are scams everywhere, especially online? So this morning, we're going to give you tips on how to avoid online fraud. All that and more coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We got your back.
To ensure that you receive those SMSs when a transaction occurs on your account, so then you can act.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast show.
Book on Travelstart. We will turn your guilt trips into good trips.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show. We're now turning our attention to traveling, and we all know that traveling for work in the beginning can be a lot of fun, but then spending a lot of time in airports away from the family, trying to cram oversized luggage, well, hand luggage into small compartments can be a little bit exhausting. And here to help us this morning, we have Linda Balme from Travelstart, because you do know there are a few seasoned travelers that know how to make it work for them. Linda, very good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Well, we are talking about working hard, playing hard while on that workcation. What exactly does the word workcation mean? Because I know it's not just a vacation.
No, it's not. It's when your business travelers, they maximize any free time that they can get. They add a little bit of fun to this free time, or they extend their work trip just to be able to explore a city or a country that they find themselves in.
Now, I'm still one of them that prefer to print out my boarding pass and, you know, have paper on hand.
Oh, no.
But there are more savvier ways. What would you recommend?
Straight away, download Travelstart's Flap app. It's awesome. You can manage your entire itinerary through there, or any similar apps. Just you can manage your travel on your phone. So much easier. And you save a few trees. You know?
You do save trees, and there's
Save the
nothing
Amazon.
worse trying to, rummage through your bag, trying to find a piece of paper when you
That's it.
always have your phone with you.
Panic. No, we don't need that.
Now, Linda, I know that there are a few people that often upgrade their flight seats, their hotel rooms. Is that possible? Is that something you can just ask for?
You know, if you don't ask, you won't get. So it's not going to harm to ask. The biggest secret here is to really sign up for frequent flyer programs or for hotel loyalty programs. So the more you fly, or the more you support an airline or a hotel chain, the more points you earn. And the more points you earn, the more opportunity you have to either use those points to upgrade yourself, or the company will literally reward you for your loyalty. So ask, and my biggest advice, be kind. Because the nicer you are, the more chance you have of an upgrade.
Oh, no, definitely. That's something I'll try the next time I go on a workation.
A big smile.
A big smile.
Yeah.
Big smiles always work. But
Always
also,
work.
I wanted to know if you want to make the most out of your traveling, be as savvy as possible. With regards to carry-on luggage, is that something you would highly recommend? What is your take on that?
Definitely, less is more when it comes to your baggage. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to be stuck waiting for your luggage for hours on end. So my advice, especially if you travel frequently, is to have a to-go bag. In there, have your toiletry bags, etc. You don't want to be at 11 o'clock at night squeezing your shampoo into the appropriate bottles. No. So you've got a bag that is ready to go. It's packed. If you get a last-minute call, you're ready. All you have to add is some fancier clothes for work functions. So nice, easy, and prepared, no stress.
Oh, definitely indeed. Well, Linda, thank you so much. We will have more with Linda a little bit later on how to be as savvy as possible the next time you take a business trip. But remember, if you book flights with Travelstart, you can get 50% off your Uber ride. That is at travelstart.co.za, and that's 2 rides. So it's to and from the airport. But stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show. More with Linda in just a bit.
Now, technological advances have without a doubt improved our quality of living, and one of the biggest transformations has been within the banking industry. Online banking has opened the doors to easy and speedy banking, but this has also given criminals another platforms to scam consumers out there. But rest assured, we've got Culinary Pillay, the CEO of the South African Banking Risk Information Centre, or SABRIC, in studio to give us some tips on how we can stay safe out there. And I'm glad that we're talking about this, Culinary, because I'm all about online banking these days, but we still hear horror stories day in and day out of people that just get scammed. So how do criminals commit fraud on online banking?
Because they manipulate you emotionally. It's part of social engineering. They do whatever they can to get you to actually divulge information that they require. So it's the criminal soliciting information from you, and that's really very important, because we say to people all the time, remember that your information, especially your banking login information, your PIN, your password, is hugely sought after by criminal syndicates. That's what they do day and night, and they troll all kinds of sites, social media platforms, and that's why it's so important for you not to be putting out all kinds of information. Your password, a simple thing like your password should be changed regularly. Also, you shouldn't set a password that is easy to guess, because you put all kinds of things on social media. You put your dog's name, and people tend to want to use their children's names, their dog's name, 1, 2, 3. You have to remember that criminals are actually looking to see how they can exploit this. So make sure that your passwords are set where can't be easily guessed. Make sure that you use antivirus and anti-spyware, that it's always updated. Watch for the sites that you're actually going on. Being able to transact, do your banking, and to just do ordinary transactions from the comfort of your home, on your any device that you're using. But you've got to make sure that the site that you go onto, how do you know if it's a secure site?
I was about to ask that. You say from the comfort of your home, yet
yes.
The question then is it absolutely 100% safe to be accessing your online banking platform from home, from a secure Wi-Fi network? Are you then guarded against all evils?
Well, it doesn't matter where your physical location is. The important thing is that the devices that you're using needs to be secure. So don't go and use a computer in an internet cafe if you're going to be doing a transaction where you need to put your bank information in, where you need to put your CVV number, your expiry date. Don't use an unsecure computer and one that you don't know. Secondly, with Wi-Fi, really very important. And these days, all of us are so happy when we get free Wi-Fi
Oh,
access.
we love
all right?
I'm
We love
a
it.
Wi-Fi hunter.
Absolutely. It's just one of the things that we human beings, we're happy when we get something for nothing. But the important thing is that there's no problem with using a Wi-Fi or accessing Wi-Fi, even though it's free, but make sure that it's secure. If to access that Wi-Fi, it doesn't ask for a password, then don't do a transaction where you're putting your banking information in because you don't know what will happen with that information. I think that's really important. You can surf the net, do whatever, but also very important, don't just click on links now. Often, part of social engineering, the criminal will throw a bait. So there'll be this mail that will purport to come from your bank saying, a transaction, an amount of money has just been put into your bank account. You can view this by clicking on the document below. We're all human beings. We want to know what money has come into our bank account. So click, we go.
Yes.
What that could do is that it could be part of a phishing email, and behind that sits malware. That malware, the minute you click, loads onto your device, and everything you do after that replicates to the criminal. So you're basically giving the criminal a free-for-all. I mean, one of the things we say to people all the time is email hacking. How do you know if your email's been hacked? For one, you should have all the antivirus, anti-spyware. But the other thing also is that every day, as a matter of habit, and it's really about changing how we do things, when you log on, you need to go to your sent items. And you need to look to see if any mails have been sent as one of the tips. Any emails been sent that you actually haven't sent. Because someone could be communicating as if they're you, maybe telling your bank manager to release X amount of funds into this particular account.
You've got to be careful. It's Gebenga. There are many out there. So what would you say is your top tip of the week?
Well, certainly just make sure that you always guard against your personal information. Don't click on any links. And make sure that when you're transacting online, go to the URL to see that this is a safe site. Look for a closed lock sign. Look for HTTPS. Really very important to make sure that you're on a safe site before you put in and transact online.
My heart is racing right now. I've got to look at the Wi-Fi that I accessed at the coffee shop yesterday.
And also, if you hover your cursor on the URL, if it changes, you know you're on a spoofed website.
There we go, because skellums are always out there watching you. So you should always be watching out for Iskebengo out there. So register for your bank's cell phone notification service. Of course, this is one of the tips that we're also giving to ensure that you receive those SMSs when a transaction occurs on your account, so then you can act immediately if you need to. In fact, if you'd like to have more tips on how to wise up and watch out, visit the SABREC website and their Facebook and Twitter pages.
Wise up, watch out.
Thank you, Kat. Well, we are now continuing our conversation with Linda Balme from Travelstart, because getting the most out of your work trips is essential, because whether you're going to a trade show in Paris, doing contract negotiations in Kenya, you want to get the most out of it. And we were talking about the Work-cation earlier, Linda. Yes. But let's talk a little bit more about our overseas trips. To me, that is a little bit more daunting. It's not a quick trip usually. Absolutely. In your mind, what is the best way for you to be as savvy as possible with your time? Considering, you know, you're going to cross time zones to the minute you hit the road, or at least you land, you can get into that business meeting.
Absolutely. So my advice is that the minute you get onto the plane, change your watch to the time zone that you're going into. You'll be looking at Johannesburg outside, but your watch will be on Sydney time or wherever it may be, because then you immediately become more in sync with where you're going. I would also suggest that you literally get as much sleep as you can on the plane, dress comfortably, do whatever you can do, and then when you get into the city, get outside as quickly as possible, get some fresh air into you, say no to the nap, jump on a hop-off bus, do what you need to do to see the most of the city and to just get rid of that jet lag. The more you do, the more you see, the better.
That's right. To get rid of that jet lag, I think that's absolutely incredible. And you know what I find is often with business trips, people tend to just want to stay in the hotel room.
No.
They don't want to explore.
It's a sin.
It is.
It is a sin.
Now, tell me some of your favorite workations you've been on. What did you end up doing?
You know, I think for most business people, especially if you have a lot of conferences that you attend, most conferences are in the same big hotel chains. So wherever you go, your same hotel will look the same in Sydney as it does in Hong Kong, etc. So my favorite trip ever was when I was invited to a conference in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, the conference was on Rhodes Island, and literally in a big hotel that looked
generic.
Anything but Greece,
Okay.
Greek-like. It didn't look like that. And so I extended for 2 days in Mykonos, where I stayed in a beautiful local hotel, tiny, 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 where the only access to my room was by donkey.
Oh, wow.
And I ate the local food, I met the locals, I woke up to just amazing islands below me, the whitewashed buildings of Greece. It was so authentic and amazing and so different for what I'd experienced for the few days before at my conference. So that's my biggest recommendation. Also, I love traveling to Asia because you can have 3 days of work in Bangkok and then you can jump on a 1-hour flight and you can get to some of the most amazing bucket list destinations. And it's phenomenal. You see so much, you experience so much. Get away from your hotel, get away from the big cities, see more, experience more.
But for someone that is a little nervous to do that, what else would you recommend? Maybe on a smaller scale instead of spending, like, you know, jumping onto a flight away?
Sure. I would say hop on, hop off buses, so easy, and they can take anything from 2 hours or 10 hours. So you can get to see a great deal of the city. If you jump on our destination pages on our website, it really lists some of the top things to do while you're in a city or in any destination, really. And I would make sure you've done your research. Do some planning, because then you won't have regrets. And you can see, okay, I need to see these 5 things. It's amazing. Get those done. Get the bucket list stuff ticked off. Have an incredible experience.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to that next business trip or work trip,
Yes.
at least, to try and make the most out of it. Linda, thank you so much for this morning's information. It was really cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It was Linda from Travelstart. Make sure you can take advantage on your next business travels when you book your flight at travelstart.co.za. And remember, you'll also receive a voucher for 50% off your next 2 Uber rides. That's to and from the airport, giving your travel itinerary as much flexibility as possible.
I think we should be starting to broadcast in different continents, you know, work and travel just like that. Linda, thank you very much for whetting our travel appetite this morning. Still ahead on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we bring you South Africa's top charting hits. The top 30 with Nick Hammond is up after the break.
Exactly, and then 2 things I really appreciate in this life, men and fashion. No, I'm kidding. It's Nicholas and Alexis. And after the break, we're talking highlights from Milan Menswear Fashion Week. Can't wait.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
I feel like starting the day saying like, yeah, it's in fun. Yeah. Johnny Clegg is in the house, man. It's so exciting, so exciting. All right, but before we have another performance from him a bit later on right now, let's quickly check in on our international entertainment news. What's happening?
It's a cool, crazy, it's a beautiful world, but for Johnny Depp, it's a little crazy because months after the A-list actor sued his former business manager for $25 million for fraud and mismanagement, management has now fired back with claims that Depp and his team were made aware of his crippling shocking financial situation in advance. Now, new emails have been made public during Depp's court case, revealing how Johnny Depp was constantly reminded of his lavish spending habits, but still showed no signs of stopping. Now, according to sources, Johnny Depp is now $40 million in debt. And emails show how he even bargained to sell off his belongings to cover the debt before it all got to court. So, I don't know, there's a little too late.
Hey, but he's got a new movie coming out, so you should be pocketing pretty soon, right?
Yeah, he should just say, guys, crowdfunding, come and watch the movie. You know?
I'm just thinking, like, if you are in the position to sue your management for 25 million in damages, you must have been doing pretty well, because I mean, you know, they take a cut of your gain or your revenue. You must have been doing pretty well.
Operative word, must have.
Ah, right.
You ain't doing well no more.
It's a big number. How did you not notice by 5 million? 10
Ah,
million?
when you are
15 million?
shari.
No, 20 million, 40 million.
Yeah.
It's just
Amber Heard
irresponsible.
probably saw trouble coming. She's like, I'm out of here, man. Bye.
Give me
Go
my
get me a
7.5.
billionaire. Anyways, on to Adele now. Despite taking a vow of silence as she gears up for the end of her tour, the chart-topping singer made time to visit some firefighters in London as a token of thanks and appreciation for their hard work in putting out the Grenfell Tower fire last week. Now, according to sources, while Adele didn't say a word, her energy and personality was still on full display, giving the heroes another big reason to smile. And that's what I love, is when people can just come out and support those that put their lives at risk every single day. And of course, our thoughts and prayers still go out to all of those families who lost loved ones. I mean, they still continue to recover bodies, and some people will never ever be identified.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for that report, Leanna. On a happier note on this Wednesday morning, I don't know, musically, what are you guys listening to right now, especially on a South African context? What are you guys listening to?
I'm always on the radio, so whatever they throw at us.
What are you listening to?
Oh, Matthew Gold, man.
Matthew Gold, you got that gold? All right.
Yes.
I'm sure somebody's going to go triple, quadruple platinum gold is Casper in Your Vest sometime soon. His new album is the best. I'm still listening to it on repeat. But it's time for us right now to take a look at what is making the top charts. In fact, the 5FM Top 30 with Nick Hammond.
Hey, what's up? It's Nick Hammond, this time live from Cape Town, coming at you with a brand new recap of the SA Top 30 for this past weekend, the chart show based on your votes from the 5FM app. And like we do every week, we begin by looking at brand new entries onto the charts. At number 17, it's new from Speedster, called I Don't Know.
People I don't know, couple bad women at my house that I don't know.
My second new entry pick this week came in at number 14. It's brand new from Cape Town's Amin Haron, repping the Cartel. The track is called Cold Summer.
I don't wanna waste no time, no time.
Time to check out my mover and shaker picks for the week. In the first one, a re-entry at number 22. It's from Isle of Skye and Justin Chalice. Brand new EP is out and available. It's called Closer.
Just get closer, closer to my love.
My second mover and shaker pick this week, also a re-entry coming in at number 21, just one position ahead. This is Rouge with No Strings.
No strings, all time. Cause I ain't trying to love you right now.
Right now, it's time to check out the top 10 biggest songs in SA music for this past weekend. Beginning at the number 10 spot, it's homegrown Das Kapital with Bend It. At number 9 this week, brand new and exciting music from Future Kings and Mankind. This is one to watch. The track is called North.
Stole me a few stars, maniac, brainiac, and from my head to my cardiac.
This week at number 8, he's new, he's exciting, he's playing in the pop space. Looking forward to hearing his next single. It's Timothy DeMonk with Every Day.
She tells me every day.
Hey guys, thank you again so much for getting my song onto the top 10 for 5FM. Remember to keep voting and keep it into the top 10.
This week at number 7, big local DJ doing massive things on the international stage. It's Strip Tech with Turn Me On. This week, just missing out on their top 5 position. It's the Smoochies out of Pretoria, new music called Wiki Wiki Wiser.
Wiki Wiki Wiser.
Wiki Wiki Wiser. Good morning, Expresso. We the band Smoochies from Pretoria. Thanks to all those who voted for us on the 5FM Top 30 charts for Wiki Wiki Wiser.
This week, halfway through the top 10 at number 5, it's music from Opposite the Other called My Body Moves.
Hey, what's up? My name's Sam from Opposite the Other. Thank you so much for voting for our new single, My Body Moves, on the 5FM chart.
This week's number 4 is a former number 1 from the Sweet Resistance called Captivated. This week at number 3, the track only recently debuted on my show Hammond Time. It's from Sutherland called Closer.
I know you wanna come a little closer. We get so high, when we get low.
This week coming in hot at number 2. Very exciting to see him back within the SA music landscape. It's the Graham Watkins Project with You Come Running. Thanks so much for watching. As always, remember to catch me, Nick Hammond, Monday to Friday, 9 to 12 on Hammond Time on 5FM. And of course, every Saturday from 10 to 2 to find out who'll be the #1 song on the SA Top 30. This week, and once again, it went to SA's biggest, Josh Milton. He's 14 years old. The track is called Monster.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nick Hammond. Right now, it's time for your Big 4 Fashion Week roundup as we continue to chronicle the latest in trends from menswear weeks across the globe. And last week, we visited London, and this week, we're in the birthplace of ready-made wear for men, Milan, of course, the spring-summer collection. And joining us to give us a roundup of the latest trends is our in-house fashion editor, Nick Strelitz, and our fashion consultant, Alexis Chaffe May. Good morning to both of you. We're talking Milano, where we were just seeing goals upon goals upon gold, but we'll talk about that in a second. But Nick, let's start off first. We saw last week in London was all about the wide leg trousers and super short shorts for guys, something that I'm sure we will kind of get into at some stage. But what's happening in the birthplace of Gucci, Prada, and Versace?
Yeah, it's so exciting. We're in Milano this week. Did I get that?
Milano,
No. So excited to see. My top trend for the season has to be, and wait for it, layering. I mean, not super groundbreaking, but you see it done in 4 different ways this season. We've got Versace with the crop top. The crop top, one of my perennial favorites, me on the beach in the crop top all day, every day. It just adds some much-needed drama to otherwise quite a conservative look. We have fashion brand MSGM doing the shirt-on-shirt, sort of the grunge, throwback 90s style. Lots of 90s references. The flip out, the panel pocket out there. Yeah, we're just like layering lots and lots and lots. Marnie, my absolute favorite fashion brand, throwing everything but the kitchen sink in. Get to your closet. Throw it all in. But top tip, you need to play with lengths.
Yeah,
you don't have any
yeah.
2 pieces that align at the exact same length.
Okay.
Otherwise, it sort of just disrupts the
defeats
look.
the purpose as
And I have to just a special shout out to early 2000s look, the popped collar getting much needed attention by Prada. I was tormented as a child a lot for my pop collar ways, and this is fashion vindication for me, okay? I'm just saying. Me and those booty shorts with the pop collar.
Welcome back, Nick. You're allowed to wear your pop collar now.
Oh my God.
And Alexis, what do you think is going to be influencing us as South Africans in the seasons to come?
You know what? It's not always complicated, and next season, stripes.
Yeah.
Stripes are really synonymous with summer, but this season we've seen them in a really cool new update, just by pairing them with contrast prints or just kind of mixing them up in a cool new way. We've seen here in these images are the 2 main categories of stripes, really bold graphic stripes, and then a more preppy schoolboy pinstripe as well, just worn in like a really, really cool new way. I love an updated classic, and I think for men and women, stripes are just a must.
All right, so play around with your stripes in different patterns as well. And what about streetwear? What are we seeing there? What are the dudes in Milan doing?
Streetwear is so exciting to see because this is how people are appropriating fashion trends, for them. We have fashion heavyweights, iconic African men in Milan right now, like Trevor Stearman and Sia Beile, repping South African fashion in streetwear. It's so nice to see. Trevor here, lots of bold color and prints. Look at him go.
The combination.
It's amazing. And just like integrating this in a European landscape and getting much needed cred for African fashion. Sia, a bit more understated in his look, but what I like about Sia's look, it's all about African accents and the headband, the top, the socks, and integrated it with mainstream European fashion to show that African fashion works in that context.
And still contemporary as well.
And your key takeout from this entire fashion week?
Well, runway trends, you don't always get the trends from the runway. And really, like the fashion goers, the fashion insiders, sometimes they give us great insight into how to wear the current trends for this season, which for us would be spring coming in September. And definitely the double-breasted suit on men and women, great unisex trend, but it was all over the place, worn really neat, really dapper, with all the accessory trimmings, and of course, the slip-on loafer.
Absolutely fantastic to see all of our local homegrown talent representing African fashion on the global platform. And of course, if there are any of you guys out there who are very fashionable and like to keep in tune with the trends, then do visit our website, expressoshow.com, to see the latest trends of the seasons to come right here in South Africa. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this break.
Okay. Eh? Yes. Copper sun sinking low, scatterlings and fugitives, hooded eyes and weary brow, seek refuge in the Nile. They are the scatterlings of Africa, each uprooted one. Oh mama, yeah, on that road to Benamunga, where the world began. I love the scatterlings of Africa, each and every one. Oh mama, yeah, on that road to Benamunga, where the world began.
Yeah. I could use a little more guitar.
Yeah, one, check back, pause, stay here, and then introduce. Mabu Iso.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We're live, large and in charge on your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso on SABC3. Mr. Johnny Clegg is in the house performing live for us here. And by the way, I just got some inside information that on the 4th and 5th of November, he will be performing in Port Elizabeth. In fact, ticket sales open today, so make sure that you do get them. Well, before we hear that wonderful performance, here's the news headlines of the day.
Baie dankie Kat. In die nasionale Nestie kredietgraderingsagentskap Standard & Poor's Global waarsku dat Suid-Afrika verder in 'n rommelstatus afgegradeer kan word indien die regering hom tot die kritieke onafhanklikheid van die land se sentrale bank bemoei. 'n Twis het oor die Suid-Afrikaanse Reservebank verhewig nadat die openbare beskermer 'n beroep gedoen het dat die bank in die groter maat op groei fokus eerder as om valute en prysstabiliteit te handhaaf. Die graderingsagentskap het Suid-Afrika vroeër vanjaar ontneem van die gesogte beleggingsgraadgradering. Die Suid-Afrikaanse Sekuriteitsagentskap het hom tot die Hooggeregshof in Pretoria gewend om verlof tot appel rakende die uitspraak oor die ongemagtigde aftrekkings van maatskaplike toelaagbegunstigdes. Die Hooggeregshof het verlede maand beslis wysigings aan regulasies behoort nie aftrekkings van begunstigdes se bankrekenings te belemmer nie, bedoelende dus dat net een kon voortgaan met ongemagtigde aftrekkings. SASSA voer aan dat aftrekkings deur net een se filiaal Cashpay Master Services die regering se armoedebestrydingsprogram teenwerk. Op die internasionale front, die Katolieke Kerk sê meer as 3300 mense het sedert Oktober verlede jaar in die geweld in die Kasai-streek van die Demokratiese Republiek van die Kongo omgekom. Hulle dood is die gevolg van botsings tussen die leer en 'n rebellegroep waarin burgerlikes ook vasgevang is. Ondertussen het die Verenigde Nasies berig oor die ontdekking van 20 massagrafte wat die dodetal tot dusver op 400 te staan gebring het. En dan ten slotte, president Donald Trump van die VSA het Noord-Korea as 'n brutale regime beskryf na die dood van 'n Amerikaanse student wat langer as 15 maande daar in die gevangenis was. Noord-Korea het Otto Wombe verlede week aan die VSA oorhandig. Die land het toe aangevoer dat hy die afgelope jaar in 'n koma was en dat hy Noord-Korea om humanitêre redes optree. Wombe se ouers sê egter dat hy aklig gemartel en mishandel is. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here's a final look at what's happening in the world of sport.
We open with cricket this morning, and with the Champions Trophy now done and dusted, the Proteas return to T20 action today as they take on England in the first game of their three-match T20 series. South Africa's last showing in the shortest format of the game saw them earn a 78-run victory over New Zealand and was in a once-off T20 in February. Tonight's game getting underway at the Rose Bowl in Southampton at 7:30 SA time. Then on to football. SuperSport United and TP Mazembe had to share the spoils after they played out to a goalless draw in their CAF Champions Cup last night. Despite having 7 shots at goal compared to Mazembe's 2, Mazat Sansa couldn't find the back of the net, leaving them in second place in Group D. That's 2 points behind leaders Horoya FC. The CAF Champions League continues tonight as Mamelodi Sundowns travel to Esperance, where AC tackle Al Khali, while USM Alger take on Zamalek. Then staying with football, match 5 of the 2017 Confederations Cup takes place tonight as Portugal tackle hosts Russia in Moscow. Russia top Group A with 3 points. Portugal currently sit 2 points back in third. That was after a last-minute goal from Hector Moreno saw Portugal slump to a 2-2 draw with Mexico. That was in their first round of fixtures. Tonight's only other match sees Mexico up against New Zealand in Sochi. And in the world of tennis, Roger Federer earned his 1,100th win on the ATP World Tour yesterday as he beat Japan's Yuichi Sugita in straight sets in the opening round of the Hell Open. That was the world number 5 progressing to the next round thanks to a simple 6-3, 6-1 win, continuing his quest for a 9th title at the German tournament. Elsewhere on the day, there were round 1 victories for Kain Shikori, Bernard Tomic and 20-year-old Alexander Zverev. Then finally, a big congratulations. Our Olympic champion Wade van Niekerk produced a personal best at the 22nd edition of the International Athletics meeting in Valenia, Slovenia yesterday. Van Niekerk, already the only man to have broken the 10-second, 20-second and 44-second barriers in the 100, 200 and 400 meters respectively, underscored his 2017 fitness with a 9.94 victory in the 100 meters, clipping 0.04 from his previous best. And a great night for SA as Emil Erasmus and Heinrich Breinkies finished second and third in 10.12 and 10.14 seconds respectively to finish off a podium sweep for our country. What a night. And that's where we leave our sport for now.
Well, let's take one final look at your traffic, starting off in Gauteng and Boysens. There are heavy delays on the M1 northbound from the Crown Interchange and Kalani, and in Cape Town and Athlone on the N2 inbound. There's been an accident. It's in the centre lane before Rappenburg Road exit, so you can expect some heavy delays from the N7. That's where we leave your traffic for now on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Let's quickly take a last look at your weather on your Feel Good Wednesday morning, and it looks like most parts of the country can expect a nice and icy start to the morning, reaching temperatures in the mid to low 20s today. Polokwane op 5 grade minimum vanoggend is styg na maksimum van 20, Mbombela 9:22, Pretoria 6:21, Johannesburg 5 en 'n maksimum van 20, Mahikeng 6:24, Klerksdorp 4:23, Kimberley 4 grade minimum en 'n maksimum van 20, Bloemfontein lekker koud -2 vanoggend en styg na 20 later. Richards Bay 15:22, Pietermaritzburg 7 en 'n maksimum van 20. Durban kicking off on 15 this morning and a maximum of 21. Mthatha 5:20, East London 12 and a maximum of 21 degrees. Cradock 5:20, Port Elizabeth 10 and a maximum of 20. George 8:18, Sutherland on a 1 degree minimum this morning, staying cold with a maximum of only 13. Cape Town on 12 and a maximum of cool 15. Worcester 5:18, Springbok 1 this morning and a maximum of 20. And Uppington starting off on 4 degrees minimum, reaching a maximum of 23 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show for your Wednesday morning.
Well, it's been a fantastic Wednesday morning, I can tell you that, as we are in the esteemed company of none other than the legendary Johnny Clegg, who's back to perform Scatterlings, his favourite Johnny Clegg song, the title hit of his 4th studio album that also launched the international tour to the United States, Canada, the UK, Germany and Scandinavia. So let's hear it, the Scatterlings.
Copper sun sinking low, scatterlings and fugitives, hooded eyes and weary brow, seek refuge in the night. They are the scatterlings of Africa, each uprooted one. Oh mama, yeah, on that road to Pelamanga, where the world began. I love the scatterlings of Africa, each and every one. Oh mama, yeah, in their hearts a burning hunger beneath this copper sun. Yeah, oh 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 yeah, oh. Ancient bones from old Dubai, echoes of the very first cry. Who made me here and why? Beneath this copper sun, African idea, African idea. Make the future clear, make the future clear. And we are scatterlings of Africa, both you and I. Oh mama, yeah, on that road to Pelamanga, beneath the copper sky. Scatterings of Africa, each and every one. Oh mama, yeah, in their hearts a burning hunger beneath this copper sun. Yeah, oh 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 yeah. Scatterlings of Africa, mama, yeah, scatterlings of Africa, mama, yeah, scatterlings of Africa, mama, yeah, ah, yeah, mama, mama, yeah.
Yes, Mr. Johnny Clegg, Scatterlings, beautiful song. We all love it. I'm sure that you loved it as well. By the way, make sure that you get your tickets to the PE show, 4th and 5th of November. They've got on sale today. And of course, for all other details on the farewell tour, visit him online on Twitter at Johnny Clegg Real. Thank you so much. Siyabonga kakhulu.
Siyabonga.
Yo, bekumnandi man.
Wow, what an absolutely incredible performance was that. Hope you guys enjoyed that. But here's something quite exciting as well. A new offering from the Expresso New Metro Movie Club. Now, we know that going to the movies is a fun and exciting experience. But how would you like to watch a movie in one of the most exciting cities in the world? Well, now you can, thanks to the latest giveaway from the Expresso New Metro Movie Club.
Win a jet-setting movie experience with New Metro and Expresso. One lucky person and their partner will enjoy flights to New York and accommodation in Manhattan to attend a fan screening of the action-packed new film War for the Planet of the Apes, attended by 3 of the main cast members. To enter, SMS the keyword New York and your name to 40675 by the 22nd of June. Winners must have a valid South African passport, and all the T's and C's can be found at expressoshow.com.
The Queen of China has returned. She's my Zulu princess, yes, but she's also returned having won an international award for an unbelievable book, Simply Delicious. You are simply delicious. We're going to get that story, open the lines for our Culinary Hotline as well, and also get into a literacy project that is empowering the youth. This is an empowered woman right here. So proud. So proud.
Oh, great.
I'm a dreamer, a doer. I know the hustle. I just need my money to hustle for me.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline bling.
That can only
It
mean
can
one
only
thing.
mean one thing,
Zalwani, welcome to that time of the week that we all love so much. The Culinary Hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. Of course, you can call us on 021-430-9881. That's the new number we're using, by the way. And a pleasure to welcome back my sister from another Mr. Zola Nene. Come on, guys. It's not there. She's back in the kitchen. Have we told you how proud we are of you?
Oh, thanks, man. I'm also quite proud of myself.
Your achievements are absolutely extraordinary. And you were telling me that you're actually quite a Johnny Clegg fan as well. You went to go see him live.
I went to see him for New Year's a couple of years ago, and it was like the best New Year's I'd ever had.
Right?
It was amazing.
What's your favorite Johnny Clegg song?
Oh gosh, I don't know off the top of my head. I love them all.
No, sing it really.
We are the scatterlings of Africa.
How big am I, my way? Each and oh, we were about to dab. That's why we stopped. Listen, we can't wait to hear all of your culinary conundrums that have been plaguing you throughout the week. But let's take some of them that came to us via social media. And I want to take this one here that came that says, well, Beijing is most well known for Peking duck, is it?
Oh, Peking duck. Yes,
Peking duck.
Peking duck, because Beijing used to be called Peking before it was called Beijing.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so Peking duck is like the speciality, and you eat it with pancakes. So Peking duck and pancakes was amazing.
Oh, right, okay.
But the duck was looking at me because they give you the head. They don't tell you that you're supposed to eat the brain as well. So that was a bit of a culture shock in China. I was like, oh, I think it's looking at me. And my sister was like, no, it's just duck.
Oh,
and I was like, no, that is an eye and that is a beak. And then the guy said, oh, eat the brain, eat the brain.
But tell me about that experience, because I mean, I've eaten like chicken head before. And then with everything, you eat the eyeball and the brain and the skin.
You eat the eyeball of a chicken?
Everything.
That's
like you don't waste anything. How did it taste? How was
duck is delicious.
Wise,
I mean, duck is delicious. Peking duck is also like super delicious because the skin is really crispy. They sort of blow air in between the skin and the flesh, so it sort of expands. Then it goes really, really crispy, and then they do this whole like carving situation. So the guy comes and he's like, hiya, cha cha, cha 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 cha, and he like throws the knives. He cuts the duck. He puts it on the thing. He puts the head, and then they serve it to you. It's like a whole ceremonious thing. It's amazing. Peking duck in Beijing, must do.
How delicious is that good?
That's amazing.
Okay, all right. Let's take a question that relates to pancakes. Comes from Tony, who says, how do I make pancakes without eggs? Or alternatively, what is good? Was it a good egg substitute? My mom doesn't eat eggs, so obviously he wants to make pancakes.
Well, the pancakes that you eat with the duck doesn't have eggs in it.
Okay,
so what you can do actually is just take a regular pancake recipe and substitute the eggs for extra oil. So every egg, use half a cup of oil, and that should balance it out. Yeah.
But what about the consistency? I mean, the oil isn't nearly as thick as the egg?
No, so the egg in a pancake is usually for the richness and to help the color as well.
Yes.
So it doesn't really. Yes, it makes it a bit more tender, but oil does exactly the same thing in baking. So
Okay.
it'll be fine. You could also use, if you're making sweet pancakes, for example, mash a banana to replace the egg. You could always use something like coconut oil as well. So things like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's very possible to make pancakes without.
Fantastic.
Without
Well,
eggs.
listen, we'll be right back over here taking all of your calls. That number one more time is 021-430-9881. We'll be back with the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ding, ding, ding!
Now, the truth of it for me, certainly from my upbringing, is that a book not only educates and inspires the imagination, but it can become a sanctuary. The harsh reality, though, here in South Africa, far too many of our children don't even have access to a book, and our literacy levels are very, very poor. But there is an organization out there attempting to change all that with a wonderful initiative. Take a look.
When I read, I felt so happy, and English books make me concentrate with my books. My teacher chose me to come join English program.
Lutando, or Luta for short, is an enthusiastic participant in the Books and Beyond program, a partner of the ROGS Academy initiative aiming to improve English literacy.
Lutando is just such a sweet little girl. She just loves being here and she loves reading. She doesn't wait for me to necessarily guide her through the program. She often tells me, no, I want to read those books now. And so she's very enthusiastic and very eager. And when we started off 2 years ago, we had 9 volunteers and 18 children. And as you can see today, we're now up to about 16, 17 volunteers and 34 children.
The Academy has formed a partnership with Sopakama Primary School, where it's initiating programs to help transform the school from under-resourced to well-achieving.
So ROGS Academy with Books and Beyond, which is our group that you see here today, we are an NPO that was formed a few years ago, and we work in partnership with Sopakama Primary School. And our aim here is really to introduce a literacy program. We try and ask the teachers to pick out those kids who, with just a little bit extra help, could move from being an underachieving child to a well-achieving child. And also those kids who have that little spark in their eye that says, I really want this, I'm trying to improve my marks.
Luta's confidence has grown tremendously ever since she joined the program. Teacher, Miss Majola, has confirmed that. The learner is doing extremely well in class. She is able to communicate well. She is able to read well in class. She is also able to write well. Teacher could not believe it. Even yesterday when they were selected for a reading competition, she was one of the learners who stood up and said, I'll be part of that. So her confidence has really improved.
The literacy program is a labor of love which achieves success because the educators and volunteers share a common goal, wanting to make a real difference to the school environment and positively impact the lives of the learners.
Books and Beyond is only active here for now, but obviously once we got it up and running, it would be wonderful to be able to have a unit of work that people could take and implement in other schools.
My favorite book is Jack and the Beanstalk. I tell my mom that I play and I read stories, and she feels happy when she hears that. When I go up one day, I want to be a nurse.
The program also gave rise to other successes at the school, a computer lab, a functional library, and a learner feeding program.
This program impacts on our systematic results, which is the test results written every year for grade 3 and grade 6. Those tests are written in English. Those skills, especially comprehension skills in English, are needed. If they cannot comprehend what is written, it means they cannot interpret the question correctly and answer it correctly. I would definitely recommend it for other schools. Learners in that program now are doing well, not only in English, they are doing well in other subjects as well.
It's said that books open up new worlds for young minds, and in learning to enjoy reading, these learners are experiencing a world with great possibilities for the future.
Okay, so listen, I thought I got the entire steez of what Zola was doing in China on Instagram, but clearly not. I mean, the people that invited her and hosted over were of such a caliber. Can we just talk about the highlights of your trip to China? Because that's what we're focusing on right now in this Culinary Hotline Bling, about Chinese food, Chinese themed things. What were some of your highlights in China?
Well, I got to do all the cool touristy things like climb the Great Wall. I use the term climb loosely. The Great Wall, the Temple of Heaven. I also got to host the South African Food Festival, so invited by the ambassador.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I got to take over a restaurant for a week and devise a menu. We brought in South African wines, South African beverages, South African ingredients, and I got to like create a menu and yeah, lots of people came.
For the whole week, you were the head chef
I
of
was
the top
head chef.
Chinese restaurant, and they were waiting on you to tell us what to do.
Yes, I had to go in and like sort of teach them about the ingredients, like what pap is, what biltong is, like all those ingredients, and teach them how to create my menus when people ordered, because I couldn't be like in the kitchen all the time.
What did they say about the food that we eat?
They actually, Chinese people are really interested in what defines South African cuisine, and I sort of was trying to explain to them that we're so diverse in our cultures and our cuisine that it's very hard to pinpoint one thing as South African cuisine. So yeah, so they were really excited to learn about the ingredients and like taste everything.
And you were learning too. You made dumplings and
I went, every
noodles
time
from scratch.
Every time I go anywhere, I make a point to go and learn a skill from that country. So I learned how to hand stretch noodles. And I learned how to make my own Chinese dumplings from scratch. I even bought the rolling pin and this massive cleaver that's like really dangerous. And I know the technique now to roll the dumpling.
Why does it seem like you got up quite a while? You're doing it like you're dancing as well. That's so cool.
So yeah.
Oh my word. Okay, you are officially our international foreign ambassador of all things culinary. In fact, right now, let's speak to somebody who wants to ask you a question. Rishan, I believe, is on the line. Good morning, Rishan. Okay, so Rishan isn't there, but we do have her question here. Asking quite what might seem like a very simple question, but how do I make scrambled eggs? Is it one of those, well, just put them in the pan and glitz them?
No, well, it isn't, because scrambled eggs should be eaten quite moist. And what people usually do is they cook them too fast and then they get really dry. So first of all, you need like a really low pan, okay?
Yeah.
So this one's a little bit hot, but we'll turn it down a little bit.
Okay.
Then crack your eggs, usually for like one portion, you'll do 3 eggs.
Okay.
Then season it with salt. Purists say you should only ever season eggs with white pepper. I like to break some rules. So black pepper, it is for me.
Because you're international ambassador of South Africa for food, so you can make your own rules.
And then some people add cream or milk just to enrich in it. Sometimes if you overcook your scrambled eggs, you'll find that liquid leaches out. So if you add extra liquid, it'll leach out. So that's why you got to cook them really slowly.
Okay.
So I like a little bit of milk just for a little bit of extra richness. And then I like to cook them with a bit of a combination of olive oil and butter, just for flavor. Okay, so then, so the pan should be a little bit
so
cooler
essentially,
than this.
what you're going to be putting in there is just all depend on what kind of flavor profile you want.
Absolutely.
Butter, olive oil combination or whatever.
Some people use coconut oil even because they like a bit of a tropical egg situation. Okay, so this is a little bit hot, so
if
it's
your
going to
pan is smoking like this, do not put the eggs in
No,
yet.
not yet, but I'm going to do it and then stir them up really quickly, okay? So then you can see that they're starting to cook very, very quickly, much like we do, we make an omelette, basically.
Yeah. Yes.
So you want to make sure with scrambled eggs, you move your eggs around consistently, right?
Yeah.
And then once it gets to about this stage, take it off the heat. Okay? Remove it from the heat. I'm just going to put it here so that the camera can see it properly. Okay? And
so
then at this
wasn't even
stage,
fully cooked all
scrambled
over.
eggs are cooked.
Look at
As easy as that. And remember, the heat that the eggs are holding will continue to cook the scrambled eggs.
You don't even think about that, is it? And look at that. I mean, you like them to be nice and moist, especially if you're going to be having them on toast with some avo, salt and pepper on top. You want all of that moisture to soak into the bread and make it delicious. I mean, how delicious is that good?
And the perfect description of what the texture of scrambled eggs and an omelette should be is baveurs.
Baveurs.
Yes.
Put that in your
Technical term.
culinary Twitter. We'll be back here again. Give us a call on 0214309881 for the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ting, ting, ting!
Of course, if you're struggling in the kitchen, then do just that. Give us a call on the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ting, ting, ting. That number 021-430-9881.
And then we also, this past Saturday, celebrated International Yoga Day. We'll bring you some highlights. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you after the break.
Saving on travel is quick and easy with Travelstart. When you book any flight at travelstart.co.za, you will receive a voucher for 50% off your next 2 Uber rides to or from the airport. Simply enter the voucher code in the Uber app when you book your ride at your convenience. It's just another amazing way to enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly travel when you have Travelstart to take you all the way for half the price with Uber.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary Hotline Bling. That can only mean
It can only mean one thing, Zalwani. That time of the week, it's the Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing, sing, sing. You give us a call on 021-430-9881. We're talking to Zola about her trip to China, which was amazing, but also, of course, taking your questions. We want to kind of theme everything around her trip in China, inspire it that way. I don't know if this particular recipe is inspired by China, but Violet wanted to know about how to make red coconut cake. Wow.
Okay, so when I saw the question, I was like, oh, I don't actually know what that is. So I did some research, and from what I could understand, it's like those coconut bomb cakes. You know, those ones that are red on the outside, and then they're coated in coconut. I've only actually ever seen them or eaten them in Durban myself.
Like at tuck shops, right? Like they sell them for like $5 and then wrapped tight in the cling wrap type thing.
Exactly. So that's what I understood it as. But then when I sort of researched, it looked to me like it was basically like a red velvet kind of cake, coated in coconut. Yeah.
Those used to dominate my schooling days.
I know,
hey?
and those ones actually, those bombs that I remember from my childhood are actually vanilla sponge dipped in like raspberry or strawberry jelly, then coated in coconut. Wow. So that's why the outside is red. But these are red velvet cupcakes, or you could, bake red velvet cakes and or hush puppies or
hush puppies.
or whoopie pies, and then just dip them in some jelly and then just roll them in some coconut. See, just like that. As easy as that. But if you want those bombs, vanilla sponge, roll them in some strawberry or raspberry jelly, and desiccated coconut around.
Actually, someone at home needs to tell us what they're really called, because like we used to call them red cake.
Red.
Yeah, like red. Because it's red. Red cake. And now you talk about bombs and stuff like that. Okay, but that's pretty cool. Yeah. So as simple as that, and it looks absolutely delicious. I want to talk about while you were in China.
Yes.
And you were trying out different foods and learning how to make different foods, like dumplings that you mentioned early on.
Yeah.
What was the most memorable food or most interesting food that you tried, good or bad, for whatever reason?
Okay, so the most interesting in a good way, definitely a good way, was durian. So durian is notorious for being banned from hotels, from taxis, from vehicles, from public spaces. Nobody in China wants you to bring it anywhere near them because it smells. And it smells like wet nappies, okay? Like ripe wet nappies, like they've been hanging around for a while. But it tastes unbelievable. So we all know I have a gag reflex like nobody's business. So I was like, oh, durian, I must try it. Foodie, must try it. Smelled it, I was like, oh, it smells quite tropical.
Yes.
And I put it into my bag and I forgot about it for 3 hours. Took it out, ripe. Had to throw away the bag because it was so ripe. It was so nappy-ish. It was just revolting. But I was like, well, I've come this far, I must try it. So I put it near me. I was like, it was like emotional. My sister was like traumatized. Everyone around me was like, what is she doing? Then I tasted it, and the texture's a bit strange because it's a fruit, but it's like got the texture of custard, like scrambly custard, which is weird. But it tastes like a combination of vanilla custard and pears and pineapples. It's so delicious, but gosh, does it stink.
So like if you had to cut durian in half, right, and then have to open it, like what does the texture look like when you...
Brain. It It looks like, so it's spiky on the outside, it's like yellow and spiky. Then you open it, it's like compartments of the brain. It looks like a brain, literally. Like there's no part of it that makes you want to eat it. And then you taste, it smells so bad. Like I can't even describe the smell. It's like rancid. It's like, it brought up a lot of things, but it tasted so good. So try it if you get a chance. Take my word for it.
Ripe wet nappies. Oh my word. Okay, how delicious is that good? Okay, listen, we're going to take a break from this revolting topic right now and continue with the culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. 0214309881. Give us a call.
Well, we are definitely changing things up because the Indian practice of yoga is something you'll find in most countries around the world. Here in South Africa, it's been used in schools and prisons to improve emotional and physical well-being, but it's also a popular form of fitness and relaxation practice. A Dutch fitness instructor now living in South Africa has been championing yoga and created a celebration in Cape Town for International Day of Yoga.
So International Day of Yoga is an initiative from the Ministry of India. In 2014 he negotiated this day to celebrate yoga and what it does to us and what it does to our lives. We've got Mother's Day, Father's Day, and now we also have an International Day of Yoga.
To celebrate this day, around 2,000 yoga enthusiasts at the Cape Town International Convention Centre enjoyed a workout with a difference under the guidance of yoga instructor Joelle Sleebos.
I did my second teacher's training in Bali and they asked us to think about a karma project. A project where you give back to society, to your community. And I was part of International Day, the first one in Antwerp in Belgium. I was still living there and now I moved to Cape Town. And we've got such a beautiful yoga community here in Cape Town, so many studios. And I thought, why don't we have a celebration? And I thought, I'll just do it. Yeah, it became viral quite quickly on Facebook and there we were. I thought, 200 people could be nice, but we were like, I think around 400 last year and we're doubling up this year, so, or even more. Yeah, fantastic.
After a yoga session, you feel invigorated, you feel centered.
I feel amazingly refreshed. All my emotions, my mind has been cleared.
Your whole body just feels completely relaxed and energized at the same time.
I think it's not just physically good for your body, but it's really good for your mind. And I think the breathing and the postures just really relax you.
I think it's an excellent form of exercise because I'm a runner. It basically aligns my body, so it helps my breathing. So I think it's the perfect exercise.
It's a full body workout. It's amazing. It makes you so strong. I've seen so much change in my body just from doing yoga and I really, really enjoy it. It's not too strenuous, but you still get a really good workout.
Yoga is a mind-body exercise, and the 5,000-year-old practice is great for reducing anxiety and depression and improves concentration among its benefits.
There's a lot of benefits to yoga. Obviously the physical, which people are attracted to. But what I personally really like is that you learn to listen to your body. You experience the same pose differently because you work on such a subtle level with the body. You deal with overwhelming sensations, you deal with emotions on your mat. Basically, your mat is a safe space to explore who you are, to be a better person outside when you get challenged.
The exercise has evolved in recent years to include more modern forms of the practice. Although the classics remain popular, there's a yoga style for every taste.
I'm a personal trainer and my background is fitness, and it was all about training hard and pushing myself, but we already live in a society where so much is asked from us, where we're constantly competing with other people. Now that I've been practicing for 10 years, there's still so much to learn. Even I do as simple as a downward facing dog, it will feel different every day because I'm different every day. So there's so much more layers to yoga on an emotional, energetic level, I find, compared to any other exercise.
An ancient exercise that continues to grow in popularity, yoga might be the medicine we all need in a rushed and busy world to find peace and great well-being.
All right, back again in the kitchen with the Culinary Hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. Ursula is on the line. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well. All the better for hearing your voice. What is your culinary conundrum?
I wanted to know how to smoke your own meat, chicken or fish
Fantastic. Okay, so how to smoke your own meat at home?
Very simple. All you need is a pan or a wok. I use a wok just because it's sort of fuller, and depending on if you're smoking a whole chicken, you're going to need something bigger. If you're smoking fish, depending on the size of what you're smoking.
Yeah.
So all you do is cold pan, take some foil because you don't want to destroy your pot, okay? Because we spend a lot of money on pots. We don't want to ruin, we don't want to ruin
Zola.
it. Okay, so then you pop some sugar in because that's going to make everything burn and cause the smoke.
Brown sugar?
Brown sugar, white sugar, any sugar. Okay, then some rice. This is sort of like your fuel for the fire. Okay, so sugar. Then you want the flavor of the smoke. So this is green tea. You could use rooibos tea. You could use any tea leaves. You could even buy little wood chips. Like if you want the flavor of the
woodiness, yeah.
So you put this all together inside your pot. Okay.
Also remember to buy Zola's survival guide to how to make your own fire outside when you're needing it.
Okay, so then you pop a lid on and you put the heat on.
Okay. Right.
Then the smoke will start to generate. Okay. High heat, the smoke, it'll start smoking. Then you put like a either chopsticks or something like that, or you could put like a steamer on top of here.
Yes.
Put your meat or your fish or your chicken inside. Cover it again, so cover it with the lid again, and then leave it to steam until or to smoke rather, until it's all cooked.
Fantastic.
And that's it, it's easy as that.
Ursula, thank you very much. That was an inspired question, and I hope that you try that at home. And let us know how it works for you.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastic stuff. Zola, you've been amazing. Your adventures in China sound like they were absolutely incredible.
I had a good time.
We will remember durian that smells like ripe, wet nappies forever now. And of course, we'll be back again next week with the Culinary Hotline bling. Sing, sing, sing.
Oh, that was so exciting.
You know what, in all of my years living in Thailand, there's the one fruit that I could never eat, and that's that durian, eh?
Oh.
I just couldn't get past that smell.
I'll bring you some, don't worry. Well, still to come after the break, Zoe and you are not actually facing their biggest fears. We find out what those are after the break.
It's going to be fun. And then we're also back with our parenting expert, Nikki Bush, talking about the importance of play for little ones. We'll see you just now.
Struggle with commitment? Before trying anywhere else, book on Travelstart. We will turn your guilt trips into good trips. Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
back to your Feel Good Breakfast show. Time for us to now dip into a little bit of an adventure.
Absolutely. We're talking about the Ford EcoSport Challenge. It's in full swing. And in case you missed last week's exciting episode, this is what myself and Zoe got up to.
The minute we hit the road, it was such a smooth ride.
It's quite responsive. I like it.
The parking challenge was not my strong point.
I think I did fairly well. I think I beat her.
But then we have more challenges.
I love things like this.
As I walked in, I saw Zola. This is going to be our first little adventure together.
Bonsai. Moet jy die goed knip soos 'n poodle?
To see all the different types that they have here was truly special.
2 bonsais have died under my supervision.
Casper's like a frickin' vigilante. He's scissor trigger happy.
Am I not going with you now?
And I bolted. That was quite exciting, learning about bonsais and all.
I struggled with the parking, the parallel parking. That was my trouble. Well, listen, as the current score stands, Ewan is in the lead, but we'll have to wait and see if we can overcome our fears.
With the score sitting at Ewan on 45 points and Zoe on 40 points, Ewan is in the lead. Our contenders are eager to see where the adventure will go. Can Zoe cruise into first, or will Ewan stay in the driver's seat? As they make their way to their next destination, they're in for a day that'll be an uphill climb.
Along the way, there's an uphill climb, be it literal or just to show you that the car's in its prime. I don't know, maybe I'll take it literal and maybe I'm going to go literally climb a hill. Or I'm going to have to prove my worth in this car.
Cape Town, just like its weather, is notorious for its very diverse terrains. So the GPS have sent me up this mother of a hill.
So kind of pulled up to this hill.
It's rather scary, but luckily this car's got power, so we're getting up there. Stopping on a hill, quite a challenge, but I pulled up the handbrake, releasing my foot off the brake, and I did not move. When it comes to park assist and going up a hill, that's my new best friend.
Ewan, that little incline is more like a molehill compared to Zoe's mountain. For that reason, Zoe is rewarded with 20 points, and Ewan gets 10 points for confidence.
I saw 3 clues pinned to this tree, so I figured, all right, fine, let's stop and let's get out and choose one quickly. I figured, all right, let's be fair and go for the middle one. Your choice is made, don't be afraid.
Today your courage will be displayed.
It will raise your heart rate and alter your state.
But once completed, you'll feel undefeated. I'm a little bit nervous about this one.
Well, that sounds like a bit of a challenge. Kind of took this hill in its stride. For a 1-litre engine, I'm very surprised that I managed to do a pull away, then roll back once. Could be my driving skill, could be the engine, I don't know, but we'll give it to the Ford.
When it comes to hills, that's not necessarily my favorite thing, but that was a big one. I was happy to be in the EcoSport. It made it so much easier.
So I'm driving the 1-litre. It's very responsive. It's a very responsive engine. It's got a nice little boost to it, nice power as well. So in terms of the driving, quite a nice little nippy car. From what it sounds like, I'm going to be facing my fears. Could be something that's going to raise my heart rate, apparently to find my backbone. Little did I know that this clue will lead me to something quite unexpected.
I think today I'm about to face one of my fears. But what? I'm driving into Komiki. We're close to the ocean. Look at the lighthouse. Ooh, kind of scared of heights. That's probably what I'll do.
At 34 meters high between solid ground and the next clue, can Zoe keep her fear of heights in check, especially when there's a surprise waiting at the top?
Driving up to the lighthouse here at Slankop-Punt didn't look that big. Woo! That's high. Well, there's no turning back now. Can't see anyone here to greet me, so I can only imagine my next clue is up there.
This is where my clue brought me next, the Protea Hotel African Pride. Let's see what this is all about, shall we? So I walk in there, I meet this guy, Lee. Lee's like, hey, brother, awesome, cool, let me take you through. This is your waiter. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I think it's waiter. It's like, waiter. They're going to make me eat something, and I've got a pretty good idea what it is as well.
I know Superman can't stomach anything, so that's his weakness.
This Superman has his kryptonite, and with a time limit in place, he'll have to swallow his pride and whatever the chef is about to serve.
We've got some lovely chicken livers for you today with a puttanesca sauce, a dash of coriander and some chili. You've got 3 minutes to complete your task to finish the dish.
Everyone knows that I hate liver.
Let's test the theory, shall we? Everybody, what is Ewan's food phobia?
Liver. 3 minutes for that? Let's do this.
As I was climbing, it was never ending. This is not the place to be clumsy. The lighthouse has 5 floors, and as you reach the top of one step, you realize, ugh, I have more to go. These platforms don't seem to end. Okay, here's a door. This must be the top. No, it's not. I made my way to the very top, climbing that steel ladder, only to realize it's on the outside. I really don't want to go outside, but I have to go outside to get that next clue.
Oh, there we go. That's the one. This is a lot of chicken livers, man. That looked like a full portion. There was a lot to eat in 3 minutes, okay? The smell of it, just the texture, just the look of it as well. It's like, it's fantastic. I think thank goodness for the time limit, because I just had to kind of just shove it in there. I didn't think about anything else. I just got it in there. Just close your eyes, get it down, eat it as fast as you can. Luckily, I managed to finish it. A couple of seconds to spare. Very proud of myself. Backbone found. Yay. I won't do it again, though.
Nothing's gonna keep this guy from finishing a challenge. While his stomach settles, Zoe is turning as she steps outside the top of the lighthouse.
I can see the floor, through the floor, which is never a good thing, and the EcoSport, this big. Apart from it being so beautiful around me, I still had to remind myself, Zoe, concentrate, got it.
He came through, the chef was like, hey, did you enjoy it? I was like, really? And he handed me my next clue.
One step at a time, use both your hands, do not lose focus, because one slip and I could die. My legs were shaking, I was holding onto that railing for dear life. I don't feel protected standing out here.
I just decided I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to sit back, take a breather, moment to myself, and just reflect on what just happened.
Facing their fears might be a lot to digest, but if they want to succeed, they'll have to make a speedy recovery.
I wouldn't say I conquered my fear. I definitely faced it. Am I still scared of heights? Yes. Will I go back onto the top of a lighthouse? Most definitely yes. Okay, let's kiss it.
It's a fair tie for these urban adventurers on the fear challenge, but Zoe's win on the hill gives her the overall lead of the day. But the game is far from over.
Onwards and upwards. So, next clue.
Tomorrow's challenge is in disguise.
It will make your heart feel satisfied.
But don't be blinded by the surprise.
When finding homes is at the forefront
of your mind.
Have no idea. I'm just going to go digest this liver first.
Getting back into the EcoSport, I felt so at home. Such peace, such comfort. It was the warmth that engulfed me. I don't want to leave that car again.
While the sun sets on another exciting day in the Ford EcoSport Challenge, our contenders will have to gather their endorphins and put a whole lot of skill and heart into their next challenge, where kindness will conquer all.
Hashtag get busy in the Ford EcoSport.
That looked like a lot of fun.
You and I was expecting Zola vibes there.
Listen, man, can I just say, for a lot of people looking at that bowl of liver, that is like the most amazing little dish. And I know a lot of people actually love it. And that sauce was exquisite. It was so good. But just too bad the sauce just goes away quickly first and then you get the liver. And that's my problem.
I would have given it to you without the sauce.
Anyway, listen, guys, we all love going to the movies. It's a great and exciting experience. But how would you, at home, like to go and watch a movie at one of the most exciting cities in the world?
Well, now you can with the Expresso New Metro Movie Club.
Win a jet-setting movie experience with New Metro and Expresso. One lucky person and their partner will enjoy flights to New York and accommodation in Manhattan to attend a fan screening of the action-packed new film War for the Planet of the Apes, attended by 3 of the main cast members. To enter, SMS the keyword New York and your name to 40675 by the 22nd of June. Winners must have a valid South African passport, and all the T's and C's can be found at expressoshow.com.
Everybody, it's up to you, New York, New York. We'll be back after the break.
Glad Bake and cooking paper is an absolute kitchen essential. Whether you're an avid baker, an aspiring chef, or the designated meal maker of a family, this product is sure to make your life a little easier. Did you know that Glad Bake and cooking paper is made with a specifically designed non-stick coating, meaning there's no need for extra oil or butter, instantly making your meal so much healthier. This means you can basically fry directly on the paper. Simply place it on the pan, heat it up, and fry away. See? No need for extra oil or butter. Another reason it's my go-to product is you can use it in the oven as well. It can withstand temperatures of up to 230 degrees. My meal is almost ready, and because I lined my pan with Glad bacon cooking paper, cleanup should be a breeze. Thanks to my Glad companion, all that's left to do is season and serve.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for joining us for what has been the most inspirational show ever. Thanks in part to the legend that is Johnny Clegg. Kat getting down. I know this was a very special day for Kat, especially. He's a massive fan, but we've had so many cool messages of inspiration and remembrance coming through. Teresita, rather, Nicholson, saying her favorite show was a live show with Asim Bonanga, with Madiba joining him on stage. Brings a knob to her throat every time. What a legend. Growing up during the apartheid era, he was the only figure of integration for me at the time. All his songs should be celebrated. A true legend. Then this one is an absolutely cool and well-written tribute to the man, coming from Trevor Verns, who says, Johnny Clegg is an absolute legend of mine, and I'm sure a few others, I'm sure there as well. What an inspirational man who has been with me through my student years, in service days, and has travelled with me under African skies. Always been seeing and hearing Johnny Clegg perform is an incredibly uplifting experience. And then on top of that, to think about Johnny Clegg's early days of where he has been and what he has done, boundaries he has broken and stories he has told about life and Africa. What an epic journey. A story to be remembered, hopefully in the makings of a book, he says with a question mark. Well, we know the book is coming. And there are literally hundreds of messages coming through. So thank you so much to you. And again, a massive thank you to Johnny Clegg for joining us. I cannot believe that he's going to be calling it a day on what has been such an inspirational career. But what a treat having him here.
Yeah, dude. One day they'll say that we lived in the time of Johnny Clegg, and what an honor that will be. Yeah, man. What an honor that will be. To have had him here performing for us live.
Exactly. On what is actually the shortest day of the year, because it is the June solstice. Hello.
Yes.
And of
The
course,
winter
solstice. And we, of course, are going to be having much longer days here after.
Is that what happens? So
slowly
after
but
this?
surely,
So
yeah.
the-
So
gradually
today's officially the shortest day.
It turns towards summer.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the weather's
When
still
the
going to be
days are
cold.
longer.
Yeah.
And the nights
The
are
sun,
shorter.
yeah, it's good more with the sunlight.
Well, anyway, hopefully that the winter does come with a bit of rain here in Cape Town.
yeah.
We do need it. Well, actually, all over the country. I was in.
'cause
I was
winter
in,
is here.
I was in Polokwane the other day.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know how dry that place is in Polokwane. Yo, guys, yo, it was actually so bad, ne? I was coming back to go back home, and I go to the airport, and I'm like, yo, guys, I need to go to the bathroom. So I go to the information desk, and I'm like, madam, the toilets upstairs are closed. Where is there another bathroom? He's like, Abu Tuaka, I'm sorry, there's no water in Polokwane, so all the bathrooms are closed. And that time, I've got like an hour and a half waiting period.
Oh, wow. Mind
hour and a half, Papa. It was so hectic. It was so hectic. Yeah, but listen, let's just once again say thank you so much to Johnny Clegg. He's been amazing. And tomorrow we do this all over again. And guess who is going to be performing for us? None other than the king of African rap, Kwesta, is going to be in the house after his massive takeover of the Summers. And of course, the great work that he's doing as well internationally. He'll be performing on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
Amazing stuff. We're also checking out all of the new movies that are available on the weekend. So if you've got nothing to do, don't worry, we got your back. We're going to hook you up and make sure that you are busy and enjoying yourself.
And something else to keep you busy is some DIY. I'm going to show you tomorrow how to make your own beauty desk mirror. It's something quite handy to have everywhere.
Lovely.
Fun, all right. And then, of course, while that's definitely going to work up an appetite, so we're going to jump into the kitchen with some garlic and chili fried green beans. And just because that is not good enough, we're going to add some coconut rice to it as well.
How delicious is that good?
All kinds of Asian inspiration on the show this week, eh? Absolutely love it. How cool was Zola today? Is she not just the coolest, funniest human being on the face of the planet?
The new keyword to say to Zola when you see her in the corridors in the office is, hey, durian.
What when you say it?
Listen, guys, be safe out there. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you again bright and early tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.
Hasim bonanga, hasim bonangu.
Another Feel Good production.